Hi, and welcome to Readhelp, an information and support forum for people with dyslexia, perceptual dyslexia and hyperlexia, and for parents with children with these conditions. Today we're joined by Dr. Paul Whiting, an expert in the field of dyslexia. Paul, what can you tell us about this condition?
I think the most important thing for people to understand about dyslexia is that it affects 7 to 10% of the population, so it's not uncommon, but the second thing is it has nothing to do with intelligence. Now that's important because you may be highly intelligent and still be dyslexic. The trouble is that a dyslexic person will come to think that they are not intelligent, and the reason for that is that when you go to school, most learning is focused on learning to read and spell, and that is the very thing that a dyslexic person has difficulty with. And so they assume if I can't do what they do at school, I must be stupid. And that is quite incorrect. So we must never assume that it has anything to do with intelligence.
Now, I've heard that diet is a factor. Is the food that a child eats important to their reading? I
don't think it is with a dyslexic child. You often find that it is with a child who has, for example, an attention deficit disorder. Diet is often helpful there. And sometimes, even with dyslexic children, supplementation is helpful, like with omega-3 supplements, for example. But you need to test that out, and it is possible to do that by seeing whether the child does react to certain foods badly.
Okay, great. Now, I know a lot of parents do worry if they have dyslexia themselves. Is it possible to pass it on to your children?
Unfortunately, it is. And if one parent is dyslexic, it's possible that children will be dyslexic. If both parents are dyslexic, it's highly likely that children will be dyslexic. There have been scientific papers written purporting to show the location of this particular deficit, genetically speaking, and so I think we can say with some confidence that it is passed on from one generation to another.
Paul, are there any short-term or long-term effects from a child growing up with dyslexia?
I think the main one is what I've already alluded to, the feeling that they're stupid. This seems to be almost universal. They make that assumption. I've said to many children, you know, if you were stupid, you wouldn't have been able to work out that you're stupid. Because you work out that you're stupid by looking at everybody around you and saying, all these people can do this job pretty well, and they don't have a problem with it, but I do. The teacher tells me it's easy and I can do it, but I can't. The teacher tells me just work harder, but I'm working as hard as I can, and so on. They quickly work out, because they're intelligent, that they're not intelligent, because everyone can do it and they can't. That's a bit of a paradox, but nonetheless, that's how it works. So that's the main problem. Self-esteem goes down, and I am just astonished at how children persevere. I've seen 16-year-olds who are still trying to learn to read after all those years in school and all those years of failure. The normal adult would have given it up 10 years before or more, but these children persevere, and I think that's fantastic and a tribute to their innate intelligence and determination, and many of them overcome it. They find ways around the problem if they can't get through it. So that shows the intelligence that many of them have as well.
Paul, obviously we've covered a lot here today. What would you say are the main points a parent should understand about dyslexia?
Well, the first thing is your child is not stupid. He's having, or she is having, a particular problem. I keep saying he because on the whole we see many more boys with the problem than girls. Although some research has suggested the numbers are approximately equal, most clinicians still say that there are more boys than girls. So the first thing is your child is not stupid, and you should treat them as intelligent and assume that they can learn. Second, remember that they're going to have a specific difficulty in the area of reading and spelling, and so to do all other tasks like science tasks and any other subject at school, they will need help with the word part of that task. If it's mathematics, they'll need help reading the question, but they can probably do the maths perfectly all right in their heads or even on paper. So remember that they will need support in that area. And the third thing is there is specialist help that you can get. Within the school, you need to make sure that the school's counsellor or the school psychologist has an understanding of dyslexia and is able to do the screening required for this child. And if not, you need to go to a dyslexia centre to make sure that that screening is properly done so that you know what teaching or what approach will be effective to helping that child.
Okay, fantastic. Paul, thank you very much for your time today. If you're looking for more information on this or any other literacy condition, please visit our website at readhelp.com.au. Thanks for your time.